What's up, solutionaries? Welcome everybody to the Maj Toure Show. Welcome, I'm your host, Maj Toure. And this fake Toure is attacking black conservatives and say y'all are desperate for white approval. Y'all know the routine. Come in, comment, that means it's showtime. Comment, let me know where you commenting from, what platform you watching from. Jump in the comment section over here on youtube.com/Maj Toure. Share the space all over the place if you're watching on X. That don't cost you nothing. It costs you $0 for you to share the space all over the place. We're gonna go into it tonight. This is Toure. His first name is Toure. My last name is Toure. I'm ashamed to have a name in association with him because he's a very, very soft man. And I say this with respect, not an attack to him as a human. I say this with just the facts of the matter. All right. He's just a soft dude. And I saw this today, and I wanted to chop it up with y'all about it. So that's what we're going to chop it up about it today. Guys, I want everybody to remember all of our classes, all of our work, all of the things that we do are based on you guys' support. And we have actual help that we help communities with. See, because like what happens a lot of times is people like Toure, this guy, will say they speak for black people more specifically, but you never see them doing no actual work in black communities. All right. But for those of you that aren't aware, I'm Maj Toure. I'm the founder of Black Guns Matter and Solutionary University. We got a decade. That means 10 years. A decade of teaching firearm safety, Second Amendment education. We cited in the historic Bruin decision, bringing tens of thousands of people into the liberty movement and the empowered movement. And so tonight, I say that because I do think that he's a soft dude, pause. But this isn't about calling out this Toure. It's about addressing the misrepresentation of black conservatives and the ignored history. Okay, so when I talk about soft people like this, and when I talk about conservatives that are absolute clowns, you guys tap into the show for a nuanced and balanced perspective about what's right and what's wrong. And we got everybody playing around on these extremes. So tonight we're going to go through that. What's up, Mad Boy over there in Michigan? What's up, Fran over there in Southern California? They say it never rains in Southern California. What's up, Bookworm? Y'all know the routine. Share the space all over the place. And again, guys, if you have a small business, so you know somebody that got a small business, so you want to support the show, support the work, I think we got like a coffee, buy me a coffee link or something like that. I think y'all can do that too. I don't know what the link for that is, but I think the producer set that up. But if you guys want to support, those are the ways that you can do it. If you're watching on YouTube, super chat. And I want you, if you have a small business, if you got something like that, I want you to highlight that small business by putting it, the website, just the social media. When you are a super chat, or just somebody that you know that's doing something good, I want you guys to put that in the super chat or in your buy me a coffee joint. So. What's up, DJ Play Nice? What's up, everybody? Let's play this video real quick. Now, this is Toure. This is the knockoff Toure, not the Maj Toure. Let's listen to what he's talking about. We only acknowledge, that's it. That's the energy. We only acknowledge one Toure. We're speaking about this one today for our education and information and empowerment purposes, but there are no other men like me. I want to be very, very super duper clear about that. But let's play this video. And let's get to it, guys. Let's go.
Not conservative, babe. You're literally just desperate for white approval.
You're not conservative. You're desperate for white approval. You're not conservative. You're desperate for white approval. You're not conservative. You're just desperate for white approval. White centrism in black people leads to conservatism. Conservatism is necessarily white-centric. If you crave white approval, going conservative is the ultimate move. It must seem like a way of escaping your blackness, like I'm escaping racism because I'm conservative. I got off the plantation. I'm in the house with Massa now. I'm not saying the Democratic Party is doing the perfect job for black people, But liberalism is surely the Black Panther Party and Black Lives Matter both are talking about liberalism. Liberalism is about inclusivity. Black MAGAs are part of a community that does not want them.
I want to be
Not conservative, babe.
I want to be very, very clear. I'll let that play all the way through. I want you all to really, really understand there's layers here. There's layers here. Tonight we're going to go over some of the people that are absolutely fucking tokens that gives this clown or this clown take. I'm going to be very respectful to everybody. It's the new year. I'm getting into a new year, new me mentality. I'm trying to get better, y'all. Okay? So the soft and incorrect approach that this gentleman has is based in there are some fucking tap dancers that happen to be black. And as we've said on the show, again, if you're not a solutionary, you're fucking wrong. Solutionaries are nuanced. Solutionaries are objective. Solutionaries are balanced in our approach. We are not the Brandon Tatums of the world. So the Brandon Tatums that just meat gobble, oh, I went to Israel, I only got spit on once. Those people exist, and some people in conservative and liberal media highlight those people and put them out there as if they are the face of what it means to be conservative. And it's just not true. It's almost the equivalent of saying the Ku Klux Klan identifies as a Christian organization. They got crosses and everything. Okay? These are the nuances that the general public, if you're not aware of conservatism, what it actually means, not understanding of American history, don't understand that the Republican Party was because Republicans are identified with conservative. And just because somebody is a Republican or politically identifies as a Republican, they may also be called a rhino, Republican in name only. Okay? And that means they're not about limited, politically, conservatism means limited government, meaning we want less government in our community as possible. So when you have somebody like Toure say this, right? The fake Toure, him, not me. When you have someone say things like this, they are playing on the general public's lack of understanding of the nuance and the context and the layers of what types of conservatives that happen to be black, right? They're taking advantage. Some of them people know that there's layers, but it's a part of their grift to not really inform the general public. That's my job. My job is to make sure y'all come through and y'all get informed, right? Because some of you may not know as well. You might be saying in your heart of hearts, yo, it is something weird about how come every black and brown conservative on the real popular ones, or even the white ones, because we ain't gonna make this just about the black folks, right? How come it seems like they always attacking black people? Is a Nick Fuentes a conservative? No, he's a fucking collectivist, right? So these dangerous levels of ignorance allow people like this, the fake Toure, to slide in there and give you an explanation about something because the tap dancers do exist. Okay? They're not Sonny Johnsons. They're not Maj Tourés, because I'm a libertarian politically, ideologically. But there is some overlap as it relates to libertarian ideology and conservative ideology, because conservatives are supposed to politically limit government. So people cannot have the government in their shit. Ironically, liberals like Toure say things like the government is corrupt, they've targeted the black people, but then they identify as liberal, which uses the weight of the government in the state to get things done. On one hand, you say, we don't want the government in our communities, they're over-policed, and I agree with that. But then, and you say the system is white supremacy, but then you rely on that same system. Conservatism means we do not want the government involved in our shit. Every single black person can identify with that. And I'm isolating it to black tonight because of tonight's topic and conversation. Okay, for some of y'all that's just tapping in, what's up? Welcome to the show. The fake Toure attacks black conservatives and says they're desperate for white approval. Now, this ain't a new conversation for me, but I think every so often it's good to bring it back up when goofballs or there's goofy statements by softer gentlemen like this. So I'm going to play it again real quick. And we're gonna slide into tonight's show.
Not conservative, babe. You're literally just desperate for white approval.
You're not conservative. You're desperate for white approval. You're not conservative. You're desperate for white approval. You're not conservative. You're just desperate for white approval. White centrism in black people leads to conservatism. Conservatism.
Listen to what these people are telling you. Listen, white-centeredness leads to conservatism. Anybody that says that to you does not know what the fuck they're talking about. I want you to be very clear. I say this often, and people think I just be trying to live on my old wins, or some people, but it's just relevant. When I spoke one of the times that I took the main stage at CPAC, I gave a whole breakdown on Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass was a Republican, was an abolitionist, and was a conservative. That Frederick Douglass. Nobody blacker. Escaped slavery, allegedly slapped the shit out of his old slave master, created a newspaper, was speaking against the ills of slavery while being a runaway. Homies got him over to Europe. They put together a newspaper. They bought his freedom. He died with a fucking mansion. Frederick Douglass is conservative. Ironically, Toure tries to wear his fucking hair like Frederick Douglass. See, they want to give y'all the cultural look of black without the historical references of black because they want to keep you confused because they know that the public school system did a horrible job of giving you the proper information and context and nuance. If something is worth talking about, it's worth talking about fully and with nuance. So when somebody says something like this, when they say, oh, if you're going towards white-centered things, that's when you go to conservatism. Either that person is unaware of the historical references and nuances of conservatism, or they're just being contradictory to get their grift off. Let's play a little bit more.
To conservatism. Conservatism is necessarily white-centric. If you crave white approval, going conservative is the ultimate move. It must seem like a way of escaping your blackness, like I'm escaping racism because I'm conservative.
Angela Stanton King, I'm going to use women for main man because he's very soft. I think it's fair for me to use women because the women that I'm going to name, I already named Sonny Johnson. I'm about to name Angela Stanton King. I'm going to toss Rhonda Mary in there. I can stop right there, to be honest. These women that I know are harder than main man, and they all have a conservative liberty lean. He's a liberal. But let's continue.
I got off the plantation. I'm in the house with Massa now.
Frederick Douglass was an abolitionist. Abolitionist means to abolish. Republican means the sovereignty of the smallest individual. That's what the individual is. The smallest republic. Sovereign. Government out of my shit. That's what that actually means.
I'm not saying the Democratic Party is doing the perfect job for black people.
It's not. It's actually doing a fucking horrible job for black people. And this is why the contradictions are so blaring. But I'm gonna let it ride for a little bit, but I got something for y'all tonight.
But liberalism is surely the Black Panther Party and Black Lives Matter both are talking about liberalism. Liberalism is about inclusivity. Black MAGAs are part of a community that does not want them.
Now, the part that he has some sort of hand in logic in here is his statement about the goofy ass clowns that look like they are doing things for certain communities. All right. I want to be very clear about that. That's where he has a leg to stand on. But let's stop for a second and let's see, because he's talking about how black it is. Let's talk. What does Malcolm X have to say. We all agree that there is no question on the blackness of the conservative El Hajj Malik El Shabazz. But let's listen to what Malcolm has to say about it, because maybe we should not listen to Malcolm X or El Hajj Malik El Shabazz. Maybe we should not listen to Brother Malcolm, and maybe we should listen to the fake Toure. Let's see what he has to say about liberals.
The white liberal differs from the white conservative only in one way. The liberal is more deceitful, more hypocritical than the conservative. Both want power, but the white liberal is the one who has perfected the art of posing as the Negro's friend and benefactor. And by winning the friendship and support of the Negro, the white liberal is able to use the Negro as a pawn or a weapon in this political football game that is constantly raging between the white liberals and the white conservatives. The American Negro is nothing but a political football, and the white liberals control this ball through tricks or tokenism.
Tokenism or tricks. See, the thing that we got to always tap in with, y'all, is when you want to learn something, you got to go to the natural genesis, or at least go back a little bit. So when you have had decades of horrible schooling, not telling the actual truth about a lot of things, it's easy now to pull the wool over people's eyes because the veneer of a thing looks very, very good. Toure, the fake Toure's argument here, is that black conservatives are white-centric and desperate for white approval. I named 3 women that I definitely know for damn sure are not seeking white approval. The ability to communicate and stand on your own as an American that happens to be black, or a black American, African American, insert whatever group. That's what those women are identified with. So people like Toure named, he said, oh, surely the Black Panther Party and surely BLM are the liberal agenda. First of all, a lot of the Black Panther members were going in the direction of communists. Okay? Now, if that's what he's saying, if they're commies, okay, I could get that. But not as a, this is going to be good for black people. The communism has never been good globally ever. Okay? So we got a guy that's named himself after, I'm assuming he's either named himself after Kwame Toure. That's who I chose my last name after, Kwame Toure, formerly known as Stokely Carmichael, who was a Black Panther as well. Or he took the name after West African royalty. Toure is a West African name. Okay? My point in saying this, we got this guy named Toure who's now saying that conservatives, if you happen to be black, you are seeking the approval of white people. And you're praising these liberal movements like BLM and the Black Panther Party, but juxtaposing them with people that don't have a solid understanding, or I've never seen have a deep philosophical or political understanding of what actual conservatism actually is. He named Stephen A. Smith, he named Candace Owens, he named Kanye West, and he named somebody else. Clarence Thomas got an understanding of it, right? But he named mostly these, or the picture in the background was these athletes and these entertainers. And I've said to you guys, I've done Candace Owens' show. I've told y'all a bunch of times. I said, I don't like her. It's like this weird wave of like coming into the conservative movement. You got to attack black Americans. That's goofy shit. Don't none of my white conservative homies be on that type time. None of mine, right? Because they probably actually want to strengthen all Americans, right? But I told y'all for the longest time, even last night's show, there are people that go, there's bad actors in every lane. And there are people that are bigots in the conservative space, in the libertarian space. But those people usually have loud megaphones. But when the media gets behind them, they make it look as if those people speak for, and this is what it means to be conservative. And I told y'all for a long time, I don't fuck with the people that just jump in and they claim the fame is let's diss black people. That's usually like you cut your teeth on that. Dinesh D'Souza does it. Okay? Dinesh D'Souza, now Dinesh D'Souza's whining that the same people, the bigots in the conservative space, and a lot of them are trolls. Again, We're having conversations about nuance in different spaces. Now that they're being disrespectful to Indian Americans like Vivek Ramaswamy or this, that, and the third, now that the microphone is given to bigots like Fuentes and others, you've spent so much time distant or supporting other bigots because they said things that removed black voices that were coming into strong black voices in the conservative space. Now you like, oh, whoa. Now that these goofballs are talking about the Jews, the Indians, and their bigotry is a little bit more heightened because somebody's giving these motherfuckers a megaphone. Now when there was solid people the whole time going like, hey, conservatism is about limiting government. The Republican Party was started specifically to make sure that black people maintain their own political voice in America. That was conservative. It was Republican, not Democrat. So when a Toure jumps up here and say this type of shit, it's like, what are you talking about, bro? Be wary of the white liberal or the white liberal in a black skin, neo-colonialist energy that presents themselves like they really, really trying to be for the people. You ain't never seen that Toure do a hard day's work of service in your motherfucking life. Toure came into the game via hip hop. Toure was like a MTV VJ. See, that's the part that we all tend to forget. These people start one way and they never cut their teeth on genuine study, genuine political diverse conversation and political thought. They don't do that. They establish a following and they say the right pro-black shit with no other actual substance behind it. Anybody that tells you that conservatism means white-centric, I know that they've never read Frederick Douglass's autobiography. And then when the clowns are pushed to the forefront, because I want us to be very, very clear, the people that control media and that are trying to control narratives, they will supply you a fake-ass hero. They will put a Candace Owens up there to appease certain people's bigotry, to repulse other black people from leaving the Democratic Party because they're like, those people are clowns. Those people are racist. Those people are tap dancers. If I want to say this, and I want to put this on wax. I'm concerned that they might compromise Thomas Massey or give you a hero in 3 more years. That's under their control. I'm concerned about that because I know how power works. Power isn't just, oh, I'm only on this side. I'm only on that side. No, I want to control the whole board. If you guys ever watched the movie Sherlock Holmes, the second one, where Moriarty was around, right? He wanted to sell the weapons and he said bullets and bandages. He set all of this thing up to make all of this war and make it look like it was everybody else so he could sell the bullets and the bandages. That's power. So when you see somebody, Albert Pike, if I'm not mistaken, said, when the people need a hero, we will supply them one. So when you see these people that get all of the media, okay, the grifter that's being pushed up front and they happen to be black, but they have all of these anti-black talking points, then you call it anti-black. Now you like, damn, I sound like the leftists that call everything anti-black. That's a smart chess move because I get you afraid to say this shit is anti-black because you don't want to look like you the person that's calling everything about race. And vice versa. They did it to white people. They made everything be, and I'm talking about a power structure. They made everything be like, you now white dudes is like, bro, I didn't have nothing fuck to do with that. Everything is not me as a white dude's fucking thing. It's not my fault. I'm trying to pay my fucking bills. Right? Media turns that conversation up to keep people from working together, and people, pundits and influencers that came in the game as hip hop artists and they lucky they got a new spin because when hip hop dies, no one's checking for their blogs about the hip hop culture. And they're soft dudes. These dudes like this wouldn't exist in 90s hip hop era. They come along a little bit later when hip hop is sanitized. It's the same thing as what David Stern did to the NBA. The NBA was strong as fuck. Right, like Bobby. Bobby happens to be white. Bobby's like, bro, I didn't fucking do it. Right? because their media just keeps saying that. Again, it was the same. They'll hire a person to put up there that either isn't intelligent or is intelligent, is playing you. David Stern, they'll sanitize it. No nuance. Okay? David Stern turned in the 80s and 90s, turned the NBA into a geographic and international powerhouse. The NBA before David Stern was gritty. Motherfuckers looked like they just came from a fucking factory job and threw on the uniform to play basketball. The Charles Barkleys, the Karl Malones, right? Now nobody can touch nobody. Now it's just threes, la 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 la. All of the basketball players look gay. Allen Iverson might have been the last of that I'm gonna do what I want to do energy. Okay? So there's a nuance to it all. But when you tell somebody about hand checking and Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley, if they didn't do the knowledge, they think that the NBA is about shooting threes because of Steph Curry. And it's no diss to Steph. Okay? But Steph can't even keep his woman in check. So, my point in saying all of this is there's a nuance there. That's the reason why you guys tap into the Maj 2 ratio, for the nuance and the explanation. This argument that the people that he named, or who you might know as black conservatives, right? They are what conservatism means. He's a fucking liar and he's wrong. It's either one or the other, or maybe both. He's wrong and he knows he's a fucking liar. Malcolm X we just played the clip. Malcolm X explained it. And the outcomes of Democrat liberal ran cities indicate exactly what the fuck Malcolm X said damn near 70, 80 years ago. Okay? Doe Dubes just jumped in, right? Said leftists created the pejorative Uncle Tom in the late 50s and 60s to alienate black conservatives who disagree with emphasizing protesting over economics. Now, here's another trick bag to that. Even that term flew and came up about because in the book, Uncle Tom was the one that didn't do what the fucking slave masters told us to do. Uncle Tom was the one that was like, nah, didn't sell out. Sambo and Kiambo was the fucking sellouts. So low key, kind of like the term woke, turning into a derivative, and the other person doesn't know the origin of the word. That's why earlier in the show I said, when you're looking for a solution to something, try to find the natural genesis of it. Okay? So now we got motherfuckers calling each other Uncle Tom, not as the packaging it like they're the sellout, when in the book, Uncle Tom was the one that did not sell out. There's layers and nuance and context to every one of these conversations. And a lot of times when you want to find out certain shit, look at the etymology of the word. Look at the etymology of what he's talking about. If I go back to the etymology of Frederick Douglass, who I literally, somebody Google it. I think it was the year 2021 or something like that. I gave an amazing breakdown of Frederick Douglass right before then President Donald Trump, whatever year it was, at CPAC. I said, I'm going to teach them about this. Frederick Douglass wasn't looking for white approval. What the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? Actually, white abolitionists was coming over to Frederick Douglass like, yo, bro, I fuck with what you doing. I respect you so much. You're my hero. Hollering at John Brown. You understand? These are the conversations that they're going to try to keep y'all out of. Because they want you to think that this soft-ass dude that says this stupid shit is somehow in tune with black culture. They want in a psychological weird way to make whiteness look like the pinnacle, even if it's negative. They don't want you to just have your own autonomy. They don't want you to if you're conservative, you must be chasing white approval. They can't square that conversation away with a Malcolm X, with a Frederick Douglass. They can't. So they just act like it didn't happen. This implied narrative is that black conservatives are inauthentic and white liberals and BLM are historically aligned with the black struggle. And that's another problem. They trying to tap you into the conversation about black struggle when historically black people had black excellence. If you guys are not paying attention to Hotep histories, Dube's got a whole show around this shit. Subscribe to the channel. They trying to make it seem like, we was always a husband, and that's the power of media. That's why they give soft ass dudes like Toure that lane. That's why they give him that lane. Let's play it again. I'm going to play it again for some of the people that just tapped in. I'm going to go, it's only a minute, but I'm going to play it again for y'all real quick. Let's see what Toure said. The fake Toure. The only Toure we acknowledge is Maj. This isn't what he said, though.
Not conservative, babe. You're literally just desperate for white approval.
You're not conservative. You're desperate for white approval. You're not conservative. You're desperate for white approval. You're not conservative. You're just desperate for white.
This shit sound like he trying to like psychologically like talk you into it. Like this seemed like a spell. Like you trying to repeat it to make me believe it. Like if I was in the middle and if I was even entertaining something conservative, something limited government, like that would scare a weaker mind or somebody that don't know. Oh, I ain't seeking white approval. You dig what I'm saying? That's why they don't like strong people like me. I'm in shape. I'm strong. I carry guns. I reserve the right to smack the shit out you too at any given moment if you get too goofy with me, right? So they would rather have people like, look at this soft dude. Look at him. He wearing the like safe glasses and shit. You fucking dork. You fucking dork.
You're just desperate for white approval. White centrism in black people leads to conservatism.
That is the most stupid and historically inaccurate statement that I've heard in the last 10 years. In the last 10 years. That is a dumbass sentence. But to the people, see, and this is where it gets slick. See, even all of this, right? Having the books behind you and wearing glasses and making that shit look like you real smart, that's a part of the psyop. Look, he must be smart. He got the Brooklyn, he got the fucking jersey on. Never mind the fact that the Negro Leagues existed during the time when the brand, you know what I mean? He trying to do the whole that play. It's all a flair. It's all peacocking. It's dramatics. It's dramatics, theatrics, and feminine performative behavior. Zesty Toure is who he is. Okay? I'm trying, bro. I'm trying, Bobby. I'm trying not to smack motherfuckers. Yeah, I mean, new year, new me. You feel me? That's why I'm trying to say, you know, I understand the brother's limitations. I understand the brother's limitations. Right, he cosplaying as Spike Lee out here. You know what I mean? He trying to do the whole, like, do the right thing Spike Lee joint. You feel what I'm saying? And now you got the books in the background and all. Man, I got books right here on, here. You want to scare him? I got books on common law since they try to switch over to corporate charter shit. That's what we got around. I got the Divine Quintessence. Shouts to my man, Mike Rashid. You know what I'm saying? I don't get caught in the traps. I keep these same 5 books around, because that's my reading for the next couple of months. Shouts to Hormozy, $100 million money models. I'm not getting caught in this, like, that's the gas. They try and get y'all caught up in the gas. They're trying to make it like that. So then you think if you're going conservative, if you got a weaker mind, or right now you're not so steeped in it that you don't know the history, the American history, that you listen to this dude because, oh, he be at Jay-Z brunch and shit. He used to talk about hip hop and shit. This is all costume. This all costume. A big way that you could tell if it's costume, if you don't see the people, like, and my heart is an activist. Like, I love doing community shit. You know what I mean? I would be way richer if I didn't do community shit. I know that, right? But I love it. I got a community center, okay? I like my farm. I like feeding people, helping community. I actually like that shit while developing the individual. I'm into that shit. I like it. Tell me in the last 20 some odd years that Toure's been on television, what you seen him do for the community other than talk. And I'm not saying communication isn't a part of it. But that's one of the clear-cuttest ways. Is if a motherfucker talking that they got on a black costume, they're wearing the dashiki and shit, they don't do nothing for the community. They whole existence is predicated upon pushing back against white acceptance or white guilt or white victimization. They already lost the fucking plot. That's weak shit. And I would say the same shit to my white. And again, I say black and white just because they opposite ends of the spectrum. But I always want y'all to understand, and I'm talking about every color in between. Okay? I say the same shit. If you a white homie of mine, and if I catch you doing that performative, I'ma take a knee, and because the ills of slavery, there's a difference between going, yo, it was systems that was fucked up, and we all Americans, we could rumble against the government and the state. That's my white homies, right? And maybe because a lot of my white homies was either criminals or like in the Second Amendment community, so they naturally rebels. But if I catch one of my white homies talking this like I gotta take a knee for the ills of racism, get the fuck away from me with that soft energy. I'm not with it. I'm just not with that shit. I want all solid motherfuckers that can tell the truth. Yo, fucked up shit happened here, fucked up shit happened here, great shit happened here, great shit happened here. Miss me with that shit. But if you seeing these types, be careful. Malcolm told us about it.
Conservatism is necessarily white-centric. If you crave white approval, going conservative is the ultimate move. It must seem like a way of escaping your blackness, like I'm escaping racism because I'm conservative. I got off the plantation.
So you're acknowledging that there is a Democratic plantation. Listen, y'all, when you line them up like this is why they scared to have sit downs with me and a few others. Like the Hoteps do a good job of trashing this shit. Sonny Johnson, obviously. There's a few folks. There's a solid amount of us. I try to put them on wherever I can. I took a stage of them on fucking CPAC stage. It was like, come on, let's do it. Right? They never invited me back to CPAC. And that's a part of the reason why. That's why these people can exist. Because if the real limited government conservatives that happen to be black start showing up and talking that shit, King Randall just doing shit down in Albany, Georgia, where he from, there's no victimization there. Then you'll have black liberals attacking him. The white liberals won't do it to King Randall. The black liberals, right, like him will say, well, what? Is he down with Trump? Is he did it? As if you can only do things for your own community if it's predicated upon being in opposition to something else. That means you're tethering your whole mindset into what another motherfucker do. I don't think, when I'm sitting down with a beautiful woman, you know, I like a nice Southern belle type woman. When I'm sitting down with a beautiful woman, I don't give a fuck what her body count is. Do I like her now? Does she meet my criteria? Can we move forward? I hope she ain't thinking about my body count. It's my shit in the woo. You understand? Only a weak mind has to base their entire thing off of comparative to what somebody else did. When you're comparing yourself to something, you should be challenging yourself to say, I'm going to work harder because that person's further along in the areas that I would like to be in. So me, for example, I don't take advice from people that's not in the space that I don't fucking... The people that I'm comparing myself to, and air quotes, is the people that run $100 million companies. The people and I usually try to work with their company. So when I say, go to ambrosiacollective.com and use code MAJ, it's because I know Mike Rashid. Mike Rashid is in great shape. I've watched Mike Rashid be a boxer, a bodybuilder for years. That's the homie. I'm going to support his business that does $50 to $100 million a year. When I go to, and that's the black end, when I go to First Form and do Andy Frisella's podcast, when y'all see me do First Form shit, it's because I'm like, I fuck with what they built. I'm not listening to nobody that like, nah, I'm not taking your, why would I listen to your gym advice? You see my fucking shoulders? I know what I'm doing. Why would I listen to the best shooters in the world. I could text them. Okay? Would you listen as men, just men for one moment, right? And we're going to move forward here shortly. Men, do you want to look like, talk like, think like, live like how the portrayal that this man is giving you right now? Just be honest. Do you want his shoulders? Do you want his haircut? Do you want them glasses? Do you want this soft fucking whatever? You know what I'm saying? Like, is that really what you want? Is that like, I don't listen to nobody that like, I'll give y'all a perfect example, right? We didn't hit our number October the 31st. I said, all right, I'm off the fundraising. I'm done. Like, whatever happened with the building, we'll figure it out, right? I said, and when the solutionaries in our private community was like, because they have access to me whenever they want, right? They like, nah, Maj, you got to do this. You got to do that. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to keep going. You got to keep going. I said, yo, let's take a vote. Let me listen to y'all. We're going to chop it up on the live, whatever, on the Zoom call or whatever, right? I said, I'm going to listen to y'all because y'all got skin in the game. The solutionaries in that community have already shown that they put in the work in for themselves. They help other people. They help each other in the group. I'm going to listen to them because they got skin in the game. And they like, no, you got to keep going with the fundraising. You can't get this close. And just because you didn't hit it at this date, go 2 more months. They said it, not me. It's easier if I don't fundraise. I don't want to fundraise. I just took a fucking horrific L. They was like, so you got to keep going. That's who I listen to. People that got skin in the game. What skin in the game do people like the fake Toure got? He been on television for 30 years talking hip hop kinda. Now you just sliding into politics and you don't even understand a basic understanding of what the fucking word conservatism means. And if I can get rid of you with Frederick Douglass and Malcolm X are entry-level points of understanding black conservatism. I want to say that again. If I could debunk your whole shit with Frederick Douglass, that's why I go to them first. They my favorite. I like them, right? If I ain't even get you, you think George Washington Carver only made the fucking peanut, and I get it. You don't even know who Carter G. Woodson is. You don't even know. I ain't even gonna get you spun up on Noble Drew Ali. I ain't gonna get you on the brother that owned more humans in South Carolina than anybody else when we talking from an autonomous position, right? Because see, they even got you thinking slavery was only the will of the white man. Not because we highlighting that slavery's good, but they got your mind fucked up thinking that you couldn't, oh, I'm in this game too. They don't want you to understand Frank Lucas was getting that shit from over there in Vietnam himself. And I'm not saying, again, you sell heroin. My point is saying is, psychologically, a psychological operation to keep people feeling like they're subservient in every lane is a part of the play. So if I could debunk your whole shit with if you ain't get past Frederick Douglass, if you ain't I can't talk to you about Denmark VC. I can't talk to you about fucking, come on, bro. I can't talk to you about Hannibal destroying Napoleon. You know what I mean? Like, it's too much information, and I just want to look like I'm a regular North Philly motherfucker. I can't take you to Imhotep. You can't get past Frederick Douglass. And then when I say Imhotep, the vast majority of the people don't even know who the fuck. You don't even know that they made Imhotep in the Mummy movie look like the white Egyptian boy that was the villain, not knowing he was the like father of fucking medicine. So when a liberal like this show up, acting like he got glasses on his shit, and I'm the high school dropout to just be reading a whole bunch of shit, and if I could debunk your talking points with Frederick Douglass, I ain't even sprinkle Marcus Garvey on you yet. I ain't even salt bay you with Garvey. I ain't even sprinkle no red, black, and green on you yet. Come on, bro. Stop listening to these people. These people that have you voting Democrat, ignoring their fucking contradictions the whole way. Let's play a little bit more. Let's move on.
I'm in the house with Massa now. I'm not saying the Democratic Party is doing the perfect job for black people. But liberalism is surely the Black Panther Party and Black Lives Matter both are talking about liberalism. Liberalism is about inclusivity. Black MAGAs are part of a community that does not want them.
And meanwhile, this you, bro?
The grassroots is furious, right?
I know,
Most
I know.
of the caucus is furious. I never before, my parents were Democrats. I've been a Democrat my entire life. Never before did I say, I should leave this party, because if democracy is at risk and you had no idea what to do and you have no plan, and even now at this moment, you know nothing of what to do and you're capitulating to this is disgusting.
Are you thinking about leaving the Democratic Party? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, me personally, yes. I'm not an elected official.
He ain't gonna go independent. He ain't gonna go Republican. He definitely ain't gonna go libertarian. These people just say anything and just switch up like girls. No diss to the ladies. No diss to the ladies. He like a girl. That's what his voice sound like. He like a girl. Or the Black Panther's cool with homosexuals. You know what I'm saying? He like a girl. He's soft. I'm telling y'all. Watch these people in long format. Watch these people and see what's going on. Literally, the Panthers were communists. Literally. And listen, don't get me fucked up. I know that if the communist manifesto was fed to the Panthers because they were being presented a form of capitalism that was mirrored so hard to racism, I understand somebody looking for a different, you know what I mean? You feel me? But at the same time, I'm like, main man don't know what the fuck he talking about. And at the same time, he's saying, I think I'm gonna lead a Democrat Party. People like this don't know what the fuck they talking about. All you gotta do is just step back and watch them for a little bit. They are not politically inclined. And this dude, outside of saying the same, like outside of being straight racist, like using like racist slurs, this energy in this person is the same as a Nick Fuentes. They just on different ends of the spectrum. They don't have a solid political knowledge base. They become popular because of the lack of information. There's so many low IQ voters and low knowledge having people in America across all spectrums. When it's on the left, he can appeal to them with that feeling type shit. No facts, no history. That's the same as a Nick Fuentes. He doesn't have a solid, he can break down what the Israeli government has done. Every government is shitty. So that's not hard to see the fucking torture that the Israeli government is doing. Like I said last night, we can go all the way back to motherfucking King Leopold and what those governments and those types of motherfuckers do. Right? We can go back to Rome. Let me go a little bit of the sidebar, y'all. I just posted this or tweeted this an hour or so ago. Gold has doubled. The price of gold has doubled in the last 2 years. Every time in human history, when gold has doubled and tripled, empires crumble. We, America, is the fucking empire. That's just what it is. We went from being a constitutional republic to a fucking empire. We went from being Leonidas in the 300, now we Xerxes. Okay? I'm saying this to say, every time an empire, when gold doubles like this, empires fucking collapse. Okay? This is historic. So when I say, hey guys, you should start growing some food, maybe putting some money in Bitcoin, maybe buying some gold, like all of my really rich friends, I watch them and they start liquidating some assets and moving that shit into hard assets. Then when the collapse happens, they have hard assets that can generate resources. Gold is a great storer of wealth. Historically, Bitcoin has outperformed even fucking gold. And maybe that's okay. We crashing everybody. We acceleration this to get them onto some form of central bank digital currency. Now, I'm saying all of this to say, when you understand history like that, and you look at what historically happened, now when it come up again, you place your bets on, I'm not placing my bet on communism. I'm not placing my bet on liberals. I'm not placing my bet on people that don't understand history. These people don't fucking pay attention or understand history. They just say this stuff. And if the person is a low IQ, low information voter, you appeal to the bigotry and the hatred. And that moves fast because it takes more intelligence. It takes more intelligence to interface with nature than it does to try to control it. So people that are smart and trying to interface and get people to work together and limit the government, a system of checks and balances, those people are fewer because it takes more study. It takes more understanding of history. It takes more practical application of knowledge, not just more useless information. It takes you being a holistic person. So when you talk about a dude that's just doing the cosplay with the whole Spike Lee do the right thing outfit, look in front of book, oh, this is a great backdrop. This will be for the look. Not to actually solve any problems, you get these types of people. And then he shows up on CNN, and I like this roundtable discussions that they have. I got this off of ABL's page. Follow or subscribe to ABL if you get a chance. Everybody that I highlight, that I mention, y'all, I want y'all to make sure y'all subscribe to Hotep Histories. Make sure y'all subscribe to Hotep Histories, okay? There's a lot of, dudes do a lot of historical references from a black perspective. And I'm not saying that because I know some of y'all are my white followers. I'm not saying that in a rude way. I'm saying even you as white people got to push back against the bullshit they told y'all. You got to push back against it. Bacon's Rebellion in Virginia was a thing. I won't go too far into it. I'll let you guys Google or grok Bacon's Rebellion and why I'm saying that. I'm going to play this real quick, and this is very basic, and it'll prove my point. He's saying, seriously, to Scott Jennings, do we have to give you a civics lesson?
This conversation will look very silly for you because
oh shit, it's doing the what's the name thing? Is the volume doing the stupid shit? Can't hear it. All right, so let me just repeat what he's saying. I don't know what the hell's happening there. Let me play. I don't know. What he's saying to Scott Jennings is, I'm gonna have to give you a civics lesson because right now we're putting all of that power in the executive branch, and the president is controlling the FBI, and they're controlling law enforcement. And then Scott Jennings basically asks him, he said, wait, you don't understand that the president is in control? He's the commander-in-chief of all of the branches. And so they go back and forth, and Toure gets clowned in this. He gets clowned in this because of the fact that he doesn't understand the basic system of checks and balances, but because he doesn't like Trump, this is during the second Trump administration, because he doesn't like Trump, he's going, oh, this is going to look bad for you later. You're going to look bad because, and he's like, Scott Jennings is like, bro, the president controls the executive branch. He is the commander-in-chief of all of the military. My point in saying this is we're talking to and listening to people that have absolutely no standing as it relates to facts and we teach a civics class to give people an understanding of how they can become involved locally on a state level and understand at the federal level. But he didn't know a very, very basic component of this. But if you don't know those things, this person can hop on television, I got the afro, I do the thing, and then all of a sudden, he cool now. He's not cool. These people are not cool. They're not. His framing, in essence, ignores a lot. What it ignores is centuries of black political thought and the actual history of black conservatism. That's the sentence. His framework ignores centuries of black political thought and the actual history of black conservatism. You would think that he would be, it's safe to say that he would be down with Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey was conservative. Marcus Garvey built his own companies. I think he got screwed on the boats back to Africa. The Black Star Line, a lot of y'all listening to Black Star don't know what the fuck it means and where it came from. I think he got jerked on the boats. However, Liberia is, you know what I mean? Like, my point in saying this is, there is context that he's ignoring or deliberately leaving the fuck out. Because if you start poking at that or peeling at that thread, it's going to unravel the bullshit that he's talking about. Okay? These people are very, very, I stopped trying to figure out if they dumb or if they evil geniuses. I stopped trying to figure it out. You either dumb or you're an evil genius. Either way, you a fucking clown for me and mine. Because you talking loud like you either a good person or you smart. Either way, fuck out of here. Okay? The Black Panther Party advocated for armed self-defense and self-determination and played a historic role in the fight against gun control. He is anti-gun. Toure, the fake one, is anti-gun. Talking about the Black Panthers. The Black Panthers were armed, arming other people, patrolling their neighborhoods, pushing back against the government. The clearest example of government in black communities is law enforcement. So he's now saying that the liberals are with the with the Black Panther Party. No, they wasn't. It was directly opposite. Y'all are anti-gun. So-called liberals now. Like black Republican influence post-Civil War Reconstruction politics, early 20th century Southern black leadership. Frederick Douglass, Robert Smalls, Booker T. Washington, W.E.B. Du Bois, George Washington Carver, Hiram Rhodes Rebels, Blanche Bruce, Garvey, X, Farrakhan. Like, these are all conservative people. These are not liberals. They not. He cherry picking these narratives, distorting conservatism to fit this modern ideological lens that don't have shit to do with the actual thing. I could call myself Christian and as a member of the Ku Klux Klan. Are you though? Because you got a cross? I want y'all to take names of the people that I've been naming the whole show. George Washington Carver was more than just fucking peanuts, bro. Blanche Bruce, advocating for education, civil rights, fiscal responsibility. That is literally conservatism. That's a Reconstruction era senator. We ain't even, come on, bro. Come on, like, stop it. His narrative is wrong. And I want y'all to be loud. Every backgrounded person, be loud about these clowns. You ignoring so many nuances in this conversation. It's a fucking travesty. Not all black conservatives seek approval. Generally, conservatives are very much more individualistic. Like, they don't rock with approval from most people. That's why there's a lot of overlap between the mindset of libertarians and conservatives. Because we're so individualistic. Sometimes that shit like herding cats to get the motherfuckers to like, come on, y'all work together. So we generally, by nature, aren't fucking seeking anybody's approval. You oversimplifying these complex political ideologies into a good liberal, bad conservative narrative. Like, you're not even talking about social conservatism. Which do you mean? Do you mean fiscal conservatism? Do you mean religious conservatism? A lot of black people are on the religion. That's why you can't get a massive amount of black people that's not batshit crazy outside of the loud ones to go with that transgender shit for children. You just can't. Because a lot of them are conservative on family and religious values. They're not with the shit. They might be like, hey, do your thing. But we're not the ones going like, yeah, give them puberty blockers. That's not our community. The Candace Owens, Brandon Tatum, Kanye West types are not the best or even a solid representation of conservatism. Candace has gone into a whole nother stratosphere. That's like being a populist. That's like almost saying like Trump is conservative because a lot of people can find things that they identify with him. Trump is not fiscally conservative, never has fucking been. His whole place is fucking gold, right? He isn't culturally conservative. He was tearing down a porn star when he was married to the 27-year-old. But y'all will highlight that, like, you dig me? But some of the conservatives won't call that out, right? These people aren't their fucking representation. He's not saying the whole story here. And the people that are being presented as conservatives are, in some instances, or at some parts in their career, horrible representations of what it means to be insert whatever type of conservative, fiscal, cultural, religious, okay? You know what is conservative? Angela Stanton King saving black babies. King Randall, black education. Asia Smith helping black veterans. Sonny Johnson, politics, if you're looking at that way for conservative values. Our work at BGM for the gun thing. They overwhelmingly represent conservatism in black spaces, but they don't get the same media attention because, again, going back to the conversation, power structures are not trying to highlight solutions. That's why we never got invited back to fucking CPAC. I did what I was supposed to do. I got in, I put people on, and I let them make a decision. Do y'all really want conservatives? A black conservative voice? I put all of them people on one stage when they just wanted me to do it the year after I gave a presentation on Frederick Douglass. But meanwhile, you got this Toure talking about some motherfucking, come on, boy. Not all black conservatives are monolithic, too. So some of them really are. That's just, they believe in anti-leftist, anti-liberal, and they think that's the level of conservatism that they with. But they babies. They neophytes in the game. They don't read enough. I've been reading stuff on my own since I was 14. This ain't like new to me politically or philosophically. I'll say it that way, right? So there are different lanes. Conservatism is a big tent. A lot of the shit in the tent is fake though, or limited, or it's under the control of AIPAC. Let's just keep it a buck. That's the part of it too. It's a lobbying arm. That's not a diss, right? These are the reasons soft dudes like him are the reasons why so many black men turning away from liberalism. So he talking about conservatism. Let's talk about liberalism. Anti-gun. We're gonna disarm you, black man. Man in general. They sexual politics. They prioritize abortion and the trans issue. That's why they lost. So man, y'all had them sold up. Y'all kept pushing that weirdo LGBTQ, all of this other extra, and you lost them. The matriarchal policies, the attitudes that undermine men and fathers, the whole BLM team, it was on their website. We try and get rid of the nuclear family. As men have been working to get respect in these communities. On one hand, you say your men got to do more. Men start doing more and trying to be heads of the household. They go, we're trying to destroy the nuclear family. Economic stagnation, lack of job and opportunities, more overregulation. Overregulation make motherfuckers go to the underground economy, parallel economies. Then y'all call them, oh, they wrong, get a real job. When the system is fucked, but you say the system's fucked, but then you don't want to support the parallel economies. Too many men that strong is going to step back off of that. Safety, crime, desire for practical solutions, training, community defense. Why do you think so many people was like, oh, I'm going to this Black Guns Matter event? It's not because I'm super smart, because I'm super handsome. It was like, yo, this makes sense. I'm not in there talking about the evil white man. I'm not even thinking about that shit. I'm just going, this community need this shit. Come on, let's do it. Local organization like King Randall and others are doing, like Kids to Kings is being done, right? With my man Dev. These are practical things of substance that take priority to any man worth his salt over just symbolic activism. And I like activism. I like the actual word. I like being active, right? But it can't be just symbolic. The fake Toure is fake symbolism. That's like a motherfucker. Like, ladies, if a motherfucker start dating you and the first thing he talking about is Grand Rising Queen, I might run. Until you got some substance behind that Grand Rising Queen, if he eat healthy, he work out, he got a super knowledge of self, and he's super pro-black for real with deeds. If he just saying Grand Rising Queen, that might be a symbolic gesture. You might need to get the fuck out of here. Maybe. Okay? I'm super, super woke in the real sense of the word. I don't say Grand Rising Queen. I actually say shit I shouldn't be saying a lot of times because it's an authenticity. It's not a costume. Okay? These so-called liberal, so-called elites do not represent working black men, working men. They don't. They actually doing the opposite. And when black men are looking for this political, cultural homes that emphasize self-defense, family, economic empowerment, and accountability, y'all calling them, oh, you getting off the Democrat. You coming up with all these weirdo words And I trust Malcolm X more than I trust any of y'all. And he been dead longer than I've been alive. This is a clown show. History matters, y'all. History matters. Black political thought has deep, complex roots and nuance. Black self-determination has always included multiple paths, whether that's political, cultural, and self-defense oriented. Stop letting them try to make you think if you black, it just got to be this. That's cat. Do not believe that. It also does not mean that the representation of what's being shown to you. Again, remember this phrase. A power structure will say, if they want a hero, we will supply them one. Question the readily supplied heroes. Again, I like Thomas Massey. I'm already thinking like, let's see if they try to get my man Massey on the because the story, he's so perfect on things that I start going, let me watch. And that's just objective. If they handle themselves right, then great. And I'm gonna put that on wax. I'm saying that as somebody that knows Thomas Massey. It's not a diss. I'm saying it as somebody that's like, you know what I mean? I know how power structures operate. So when they're presenting people that's supposedly black conservative and they dick riding Israel and the Israeli government all day, you should question it. If they jumping out there ready to be like, they ain't done nothing. It's like what Bookworm just said. It's what Angela Rye and Tiffany Cross just did to the Joe Budden podcast. Look, it's different avenues. If you think we can get to liberation that way, awesome. Let's not unnecessarily attack each other. Now, when you start saying wrong shit and I go, that's not what happened. Don't get mad at me when I pull your coattails, pull your card. You got to think very, very critically about these narratives. And who's the backer? Angela Rye and Tiffany Cross? Of course, they on iHeartRadio. They got a definite script. iHeartRadios won't touch me with a 10-foot pole. I'm urban. Why not? Why not? Oh, because he work out. He talking about health. He be putting people on. He'll crush our narrative, and he carry guns. Ebro said he wasn't going to have me on because he didn't know if I was going to bring a gun to Hot 97. Boy, shut up. Hot 97 is a federally owned building. Boy, if you don't leave me alone, in New York. And if the argument is, hey, just try not to bring, I know how to, if it's that deep, and it ain't that deep, I could hire security. Or I could just not bring a gun for one day. Come on, bro. But they do all of these little hurdles to try to, y'all got control mechanisms on top of your control mechanisms. Y'all got to think very critically about these political narratives. If you want to build skills, discipline, community, and prioritize protecting yourself and your family and leveling up, that's why we made Solutionary University. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. These extreme ends of these conversations, and because everybody got a podcast and not everybody's vetted or not everybody's earned the microphone, I get it. You got a freedom of speech, but you ain't earned my respect. At best, I give you the non-aggression principle. At best, if I know you want bullshit, I just won't say nothing. I'll just keep building what we building. If you one of those people that want to tap into something real and you want to start, the reason why we can, off the dome, give you 20,000 names in a drunken stupor about things that have actually been beneficial to America that happen to come from black minds and black thought and black political discourse without making it like, oh, fuck the whites. Like, it's not even that. This is the American story. This is my land. It's mine, right? I only bring up the race when people try to act like you, if you on this side, the bigots on the right or the bigots on the left, you try to act like if I'm being excellent because I happen to be liberty-minded and have a conservative lean to me, that somehow I'm the sellout. That's their angle to try to keep you to not building with like minds of all backgrounds. And then on the other side, it's the, you ain't never did nothing for the world. Black, the Fuentes, the Matt Walsh end of it. Both ends are clowns. We are Jedi. We are not Sith Lords. We don't deal in the extremes like that. We work extremely hard and try to get extremely smart and extremely effective, but we don't do that bullshit extreme on either side. That's the Siths. We don't do the dark side in that regard, pun intended. We do the straight, narrow, nuanced, and honest path. If that's what you want, that's why I created Solutionary University. I want motherfuckers in there with, again, even take it out of Solutionary University. Sidebar, I'm gonna try to get Dubes to do something on the history component on Solutionary University, right? Firearms, health and fitness, mindset. Because the mindset is a thing, man. That's the reason why they always trying to control your mind with goofballs like the fake Toure. They're trying to get you to be that so you don't actually break free. They're trying to figure out a different way to package your matrix for you. And this one feel more comfortable. It's cat. But if you're beyond that, or if you want to be beyond that, if you tapping into my show Monday through Friday at 8 p.m., if you doing that, you probably going in this direction. That's just what it is. And I don't care what your skin color is. You happen to be white, and you see the bullshit they be trying to feed y'all. Us. Join Solutionary University. We need a network of new thought. We need people that's going to be willing to say, nah, that's bullshit. I get it that he might seem like he a Republican, but that's bullshit. Trump on some bullshit right there. That's not fiscally conservative. Republican means limited government, including the purses. That's one of the biggest things about government, how they spend and how they don't. Nah, we ain't cool with that. If you on that type time, you definitely need to be at Solutionary University. There's a few ways that you can get in. I'm going to keep the fundraising open because the Solutionary said it. Mind you got to keep going. Donate. GiveSendGo.com/Solutionary, right? Every donor over $99 or more, you're going to get access. I would actually prefer you do it that way. Help fund other people. Help. Cooperative economics. Yeah, this is a new hoodie. I stole his idea from Drake. I seen it on one of Drake videos. Quentin just asked y'all. Quentin said, Maj, is that a new hoodie? Yes. Hate survivor. I'll be surviving the hate. I mean, if you a hate survivor, go to blackgunsmatter.shop. We got, y'all ain't see these yet. Y'all ain't see the mugs. There go the mugs. Y'all see these? All gun controllers races. I got a few of these around. Solutionary. All of this is on blackgunsmatter.shop. And don't get it fucked up. We could turn that violence on at any given moment. I'm peaceful. I'm not harmless. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, y'all can grab some of that stuff. Every order over $99, you get free shipping. Blackgunsmatter.shop. See? Free market enterprise. Not asking for, you know what I mean? People choose to volunteer. Hey, you guys can donate. We have a donation option. If you donate at GiveSendGo.com/Solutionary, you do $99 or more, I'm going to give you access to Solutionary University and all of those transformative information. If you want to do it that way, you get something for helping others. Individual, voluntary, that's philanthropy, that's cooperative economics, if you choose to do it that way. If not, you're like, Maj, I want to support you, but I ain't donating to nobody else. Cool. Go to blackgunsmatter.shop, go get products. We're not going to let nothing fucking box us in. And you got to think that way. It ain't. At this point, there are systemic things like gun control. But the vast majority of the things that's stopping you is fucking you and your mind. That's why they're trying to control your mind. They got you listening to this dork. And I ain't talking about Malcolm. They got us. That dude got on that TikTok or whatever he did and really was like, yeah, I'm going to say this. You are looking for white approval. They'll try to convince you that way. Nah, we got a home for you. It's at Solutionary University. We got a private community. There's thousands of solutionaries across the country just working together, helping each other. You want to get in access to that and access to all of those video modules? Go to GiveSendGo.com/Solutionary. Be a donor at the $100 level, or just go to solutionaryuniversity.org. If you don't want to do none of that, Maj, I don't want no fucking classes. I don't want to learn shit if that's you, but I want to support you, Maj. Cool. Go over, pay it forward for somebody else at GiveSendGo.com/Solutionary, or go to blackgunsmatter.shop and buy some merch. Get over $100 worth so we can pay for your shipping and you don't have to. Shipping prices is stupid right now. All right? I think that's the cool place to wrap it up for tonight. I appreciate y'all all for tapping in. GiveSendGo.com/Solutionary, solutionaryuniversity.org. Shoot me DMs, shoot me emails, majtoure@solutionaryuniversity.org. I'm going to engage y'all in the DMs. Everybody that donates, I'm going to get an email from you. When I get the email, I'm going to know it's you. I'm going to give you a shout out. But let's keep supporting the work. Let's keep calling out the contradictions on the left and the right. Let's continue to be solutionary. I see y'all tomorrow, same time, same channel, youtube.com/Maj Toure. Be safe, be solutionary.